The Silent Ascension. Dr. Kira Volkov stood at the observation deck of Earth's hidden quantum research facility, her eyes fixed on the massive vessel taking shape in the underground hangar. Their Phoenix Rising wasn't just a spaceship, it was humanity's answer to centuries of alien dismissal and isolation. Her silver-streaked black hair reflected the blue glow of quantum stabilizers as she reviewed the final diagnostic reports. Dr. Volkov, the quantum core is showing unprecedented stability levels, announced her chief engineer, Marcus Rhodes, his dark skin illuminated by holographic displays. We've achieved what the Hegemony Alliance thought impossible. Kira allowed herself a small smile. For 30 years, Earth had maintained a facade of technological stagnation while secretly developing quantum manipulation technology that surpassed anything in known space. The Phoenix Rising was proof of their success, a warship capable of rewriting the laws of physics themselves. Status report on the cloaking systems, she asked, turning to face her team. Lieutenant Zara Patel, head of stealth systems, stepped forward. The quantum shroud is holding perfectly. Not even the Hegemony's most advanced sensors could detect us now. Far above their hidden facility, in the depths of space, First Observer NYX of the Hegemony Alliance was about to prove them wrong. The crystalline being's consciousness interfaced directly with their ship sensors, detecting an anomaly that shouldn't exist, a quantum disturbance emanating from Earth's southern hemisphere. Impossible, NYX communicated to their crew. The humans are supposed to be centuries away from quantum manipulation. Their crystalline form pulsed with concern as they initiated a deeper scan. The response was immediate and unexpected. Deep within Earth's facility, alarms blared. Kira rushed to the command center, where General Dante Washington awaited her, his weathered face grim. "They've found us," he stated simply. "The Hegemony's first observer is conducting an illegal deep scan of our facility." Kira's mind raced through the possibilities. They weren't ready for revelation yet, the Phoenix Rising needed another week of testing. But now the choice had been taken from them. "General," she said, her voice steady, "initiate Protocol Omega." Washington's eyes widened. "That would mean..." "Yes. It's time to show the galaxy who we really are." In space, First Observer NYX was preparing to transmit their findings to the Hegemony when their sensors detected something emerging from Earth's atmosphere. At first, it appeared to be a small anomaly, but as the quantum distortions cleared, the true scale of the Phoenix Rising became apparent. The ship was massive, its hull composed of darkness darker than space itself, lined with pulsing quantum conduits that seemed to bend reality around them. It moved with impossible grace for its size, defying known physics. By the first light, NYX transmitted in awe. "What have they built?" Aboard the Phoenix Rising, Kira stood on the bridge alongside Captain Ryoko Tanaka, a veteran pilot who had trained for years in secret for this moment. The ship's quantum core hummed with power, ready to demonstrate capabilities that would shatter the galaxy's understanding of what was possible. "First Observer vessel detected," reported Lieutenant Patel from her station. "They are charging weapons." Captain Tanaka's lips curved into a confident smile. "Let them try." The Hegemony ship fired, its plasma weapons designed to cripple any known vessel. The beams struck the Phoenix Rising's quantum field and simply ceased to exist, absorbed into the very fabric of spacetime around the ship. "Return greeting," ordered Tanaka. "Minimal power. Let's not vaporize them by accident." A single quantum pulse emanated from the Phoenix Rising. When it reached the Hegemony vessel, it passed through their shields as if they didn't exist, temporarily disrupting every system on board. First Observer NYX found their consciousness briefly separated from their ship systems, something that should have been technologically impossible. As the Hegemony ship drifted powerless, Kira opened a communication channel. "This is Dr. Kira Volkov of Earth's Quantum Defense Initiative. For centuries, your alliance has denied us membership, believing us primitive and weak. That ends today. The Phoenix Rising is but one of many ships we have constructed. Earth is no longer content to remain in the shadows." In the following hours, the galaxy erupted into chaos as NYX's report reached the Hegemony Alliance. Emergency sessions were called, military fleets were mobilized, and ancient powers scrambled to understand how they had missed Earth's technological leap. Back on the Phoenix Rising, Kira watched the stars with a mixture of pride and concern. "Have we done the right thing, Captain?" Tanaka stood beside her, watching the same view. "They gave us no choice. For too long, they've treated Earth as irrelevant. Sometimes peace can only be achieved through strength." In the depths of space, more quantum signatures began to appear as Earth revealed its hidden fleet. The Phoenix Rising had been just the beginning. Humanity's response to centuries of dismissal was about to reshape the galaxy forever. As reports flooded in from across known space, one thing became clear: the age of Earth's silence was over. The question now wasn't whether humanity would gain a seat at the galactic table, but whether the other species were ready for what Earth had become. Dr. Volkov returned to her quarters that night, knowing that sleep would be impossible. The quantum equations that had led to this moment still danced in her mind, beautiful and terrible in their implications. Humanity hadn't just caught up to the galaxy's powers, they had surpassed them in ways that would soon become apparent. The silent ascension was complete. Now the real challenge would begin. In the hegemony's central chambers, emergency meetings stretched into the night as species that had long dismissed Earth as primitive now faced the reality of their mistake. They had ignored humanity's potential, forgotten Earth's history of rapid advancement, and now they would face the consequences of their oversight. The galaxy was about to learn that sometimes the most dangerous force isn't the one that shouts its presence, it's the one that rises in silence, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal its true nature. And Earth's moment had finally come. The broken crown. The crystalline spires of Nova Centauri, seat of the Hegemony Alliance, pulsed with an angry red glow as thousands of representatives gathered for an emergency session. The Grand Chamber, usually a model of order and hierarchy, had devolved into chaos as species that had coexisted peacefully for millennia now faced an unprecedented crisis. High Chancellor Vexthor, a towering figure of the ancient Axiom race, raised all four of his arms for silence. His metallic scales reflected the chamber's light as he addressed the assembly. "The humans have deceived us all," his voice boomed through the neural translators. "Their quantum technology threatens the very foundation of our civilization." In the front row, Ambassador Jun Wei of the Asian Confederation sat quietly, Earth's sole representative in this hostile gathering. His weathered face remained impassive, though his dark eyes missed nothing. The hegemony had granted him observer status centuries ago, a patronizing gesture meant to placate Earth while keeping humanity isolated. "You fear what you do not understand," Jun Wei finally spoke, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber. "Earth offered friendship for centuries. You chose to treat us as children." A commotion erupted from the Drachnid delegation. "Your Phoenix Rising vessel disabled a first observer ship," shouted their representative. "This is an act of war." Fleet Admiral Thora Blackstar, commander of the Hegemony's combined fleet, stepped onto the speaking platform. Her bioluminescent skin marked her as one of the rare luminari, a species known for their tactical brilliance. "We have confirmed reports of at least 12 more quantum ships in Earth's fleet. Our conventional weapons are useless against their technology." The chamber erupted again, but Jun Wei noticed Thora's expression, not fear, but calculation. She was already planning something. In Earth orbit, aboard the Phoenix Rising, Dr. Kira Volkov received the diplomatic feed with growing concern. Captain Tanaka stood beside her, both watching the Hegemony's reaction unfold. "They are mobilizing their fleet," Tanaka reported, studying the tactical displays. 3 battle groups converging from different sectors. Kira nodded grimly. "They are testing us." The Hegemony never could accept an equal player in their game. The ship's quantum core hummed softly as Lieutenant Patel's voice came over the comm. "Doctor, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the Hegemony fleet. They are using something new." Back in the Grand Chamber, Admiral Blackstar was unveiling her strategy. "We've adapted our stellar forge technology," she announced. "If Earth wants to play with quantum mechanics, we'll show them what ancient races can do." Jun Wei's hand tightened on his chair. The stellar forge was theoretical technology, capable of manipulating solar energy on a massive scale. If the Hegemony had weaponized it. His quantum communicator pulsed silently. A message from Earth's Defense Command, Phoenix Squadron engaging hegemony forces in Sector 7. Maintain diplomatic presence. The first battle was about to begin. In the cold void of space, Admiral Blackstar's flagship, Crown of Light, led the hegemony battle groups toward Earth's defensive line. The massive vessel, organic technology merged with stellar engineering, glowed with captured starfire. All ships, battle formation Delta, Blackstar commanded. Her luminescent patterns shifted to combat rhythms. Show these humans the difference between true mastery and mere technological advancement. The hegemony fleet deployed in a perfect crescent formation, their stellar forge technology creating artificial solar flares between ships. It was a technique that had won wars against countless younger races. But Earth was ready. The Phoenix Rising, accompanied by 3 sister ships, Quantum Dawn, Stellar Shadow, and Terra's Vengeance, moved to intercept. Captain Tanaker's voice was steady as she gave the order, activate quantum fields. Show them what humanity has learned in our silence. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. The hegemony's solar flares, hot enough to melt planets, struck Earth's quantum fields and simply vanished. Physics itself seemed to bow to human engineering as Dr. Volkov's technology rewrote the rules of reality. Impossible. Admiral Blackstar watched in horror as her most powerful weapons disappeared into quantum singularities. All ships, full assault. We must not let them. Her orders were cut short as the Phoenix Rising executed its first real attack. A quantum pulse rippled through space, and where it passed, the hegemony's mighty ships found themselves out of phase with normal space-time. Their weapons fired but the energy dissipated harmlessly. Their shields existed in a different quantum state than the attacks they tried to block. In the Grand Chamber, the diplomatic feed showed the battle in real time. Jun Wei stood calmly as the assembled representatives watched their invincible fleet rendered helpless by human ingenuity. This is not a war you can win, he stated simply. Earth doesn't want to fight. We want recognition. Respect. Equal standing among the stars. High Chancellor Vexthor's scales had darkened to a deep blue of distress. You've hidden this power for centuries. How can we trust you now? Trust. Jun Wei smiled sadly. Like you trusted us when you denied our applications for membership. When you exploited our trade routes. When you studied us like specimens. In space, the battle was ending before it truly began. The Crown of Light, Admiral Blackstar's mighty flagship, drifted powerless as the Phoenix Rising approached. Dr. Volkov opened a channel to all ships. This demonstration is over. Your ships will regain full power in 1 hour. We could have destroyed them. Remember that when you question humanity's place among the stars. The hegemony's crown of supremacy had been broken, but the galaxy's troubles were only beginning. As the Phoenix Squadron returned to Earth orbit, diplomatic channels exploded with activity. Some races called for immediate war, others for negotiations. The balance of power had shifted irrevocably. In her private chambers, Admiral Blackstar reviewed the battle footage obsessively. Her luminescence pulsed with complex emotions as she studied Earth's quantum technology. They've surpassed us all, she whispered to herself. The question is, what will they do with that power? The answer would come sooner than anyone expected, and it would shake the foundations of galactic civilization. The age of hegemony dominance was ending, but the price of change would be higher than anyone could have imagined. As Jun Wei left the Grand Chamber that night, he sent one final message to Earth: the storm is coming. The hegemony won't accept defeat easily. Be ready. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from the ashes of this first confrontation. The crown had been broken, but the game of power was just beginning. Storm of Stars. Captain Raven Martinez stood on the bridge of the Quantum Dawn, her obsidian eyes fixed on the swirling nebula of the Arcturus sector. The massive viewing window showed thousands of energy signatures, the combined might of the hegemony's desperate counterattack. Behind her ship, Earth's stealth armada waited in quantum silence. They've brought 7 races worth of warships, reported her tactical officer, Commander Nikolai Frost, his augmented eyes scanning multiple holographic displays. The Drachnid dreadnoughts alone outnumber us 3-1. Raven's scarred hand traced the neural interface on her command chair. After 20 years in Earth's secret space force, she knew that numbers meant little against superior technology. Status of the quantum mesh. Operating at 98% efficiency, Captain, replied Dr. Ashara Singh, their quantum systems specialist. The young scientist's hands danced across her console, managing the invisible web of quantum entanglement that connected Earth's fleet. The hegemony still hasn't detected our support ships. In the heart of the hegemony fleet, Admiral Thora Blackstar had learned from her previous defeat. Her bioluminescent patterns pulsed with strategic calculations as she addressed her assembled commanders via quantum hologram. Earth's quantum technology has one weakness, she announced, her voice carrying across hundreds of ships. Their fields require massive energy expenditure. We'll force them to maintain multiple defensive fronts until their power reserves drain. Among her commanders, Warmaster Krov of the Drachnid Empire flexed his armored claws. The humans have forgotten that some of us remember their ancient wars. They were always clever, but they tire quickly. But one voice dissented. Fleet Commander Zaravesh of the Luminary Collective, her crystalline form shimmering with concern, spoke up. We're underestimating them again. Our scouts report strange quantum echoes throughout the sector. What if? Enough. Blackstar's luminescence flared. Launch the attack. All ships, execute Operation Sundering Storm. The space around the Arcturus Nebula erupted into chaos. Thousands of hegemony ships accelerated to attack velocity, their combined weapons fire turning space itself into a deadly lattice of energy beams and plasma torpedoes. Aboard the Quantum Dawn, Raven allowed herself a small smile. Now, Commander Frost. Show them why we named this ship for the coming light. The Quantum Dawn's advanced systems activated, and reality itself seemed to blur. The ship didn't just dodge the incoming fire, it phased through multiple quantum states simultaneously, appearing to be in dozens of locations at once. Multiple quantum signatures detected, shouted a hegemony sensor operator. The human ship, it's everywhere. Raven's voice was cold steel as she gave the order, execute Protocol Midnight Sunday. All phantom ships, engage. Suddenly, the quantum echoes that Fleet Commander Zaravesh had warned about made terrible sense. Hidden throughout the sector, using technology far beyond the hegemony's understanding, Earth's true fleet decloaked. The stealth armada, led by ships like the Shadow Striker and the Quantum Spectre, emerged from their quantum hiding spots. Dr. Volkov's voice came through the command channel from the Phoenix Rising. All ships, quantum mesh is stable. Execute synchronized attack pattern Delta. What followed was unlike any battle in galactic history. Earth's ships moved in perfect coordination, their quantum fields interlocking to create impossible geometric patterns in space. Where hegemony weapons struck, they found their energy redirected through quantum tunnels, emerging to strike their own ships. Admiral Blackstar watched in horror as her complex strategy crumbled. Impossible. They are predicting our attack patterns before we execute them. Quantum entanglement, Admiral, Zaravesh said quietly. Their ships aren't just communicating, they are thinking as one. On the Quantum Dawn's bridge, Raven coordinated the dance of destruction. Focus fire on their command ships. Let's show them what Earth's Phantom Fleet can do. The battle spread across the sector like a storm of light and shadow. Drachnid dreadnoughts, once considered invincible, found themselves outmaneuvered by ships that seemed to ignore the laws of physics. The hegemony's proud formations broke apart as Earth's quantum-linked fleet struck from impossible angles. Commander Frost's augmented eyes tracked the chaos. Captain, their fleet is splitting up. They are trying to escape the quantum mesh range. They won't succeed, Raven replied, interfacing deeper with her ship's systems. Dr. Singh, expand the mesh. Show them nowhere in this sector is beyond our reach. The quantum mesh expanded like a living thing, its invisible tendrils reaching out to ensnare fleeing ships. The hegemony's mighty armada found itself trapped in a web of altered spacetime, their advanced technology rendered obsolete by human ingenuity. In a desperate gambit, Admiral Blackstar ordered her remaining ships to overload their stellar forge drives. If we can't defeat them conventionally, we'll tear this sector apart. The warning came from an unexpected source. Fleet Commander Zaravesher's crystalline form pulsed with alarm as she broadcast on all frequencies, "Admiral, stop. The quantum mesh, it's not just a weapon. It's stabilizing spacetime itself. If we overload now." But it was too late. The stellar forge drives detonated, releasing enough energy to birth new stars. For a moment, the Arcturus sector blazed brighter than a galaxy. Then the quantum mesh responded. The combined power of Earth's fleet, linked through their advanced technology, caught the stellar explosion and channeled it through countless quantum corridors. The energy dispersed harmlessly across multiple dimensions, leaving the sector intact but forever changed. When the light faded, the battle was over. Their mighty hegemony fleet lay scattered and powerless, their ships trapped in quantum stasis fields. Only Admiral Blackstar's flagship remained partially operational, a final witness to humanity's triumph. Raven opened a channel to all ships, her voice carrying the weight of victory. "This is Captain Raven Martinez of Earth's quantum fleet. Your ships will be released once we've secured the sector. Remember this day. Remember what happened when you pushed humanity too far." In the aftermath, as rescue operations began, Dr. Singh approached her captain. "The quantum mesh recorded everything. The data we gathered, it's revolutionary. We didn't just win a battle, we've advanced our understanding of spacetime itself." Raven nodded, watching as Earth's phantom fleet secured their prisoners. "That's always been the difference between us and them, Doctor. They fight to maintain their power. We fight to learn, to grow, to push the boundaries of what's possible." But amid the victory celebrations, Commander Frost detected something troubling. "Captain, I'm picking up strange quantum fluctuations. Something's happening to the fabric of spacetime in this sector." The storm of stars had ended, but its effects would ripple across the galaxy in ways no one could have predicted. Earth had won its greatest battle, but the war for the future was far from over. As the Quantum Dawn prepared to escort their prisoners back to Earth, Raven Martinez couldn't shake the feeling that they had just opened a door that could never be closed. The galaxy was changing, and humanity had been the catalyst. The question now was, what would emerge from the quantum storm they had unleashed? Echoes of betrayal. The secure quantum chamber deep within Nova Centauri's government district pulsed with an eerie blue light as Fleet Commander Zaravesher's crystalline form projected classified battle footage. Before her stood the inner circle of the Hegemony's Security Council, their faces illuminated by holograms of Earth's devastating victory in the Arcturus sector. "This isn't just about superior technology," Zaravesh stated, her crystalline matrix vibrating with urgency. "Someone within the Hegemony has been helping Earth. Our attack plans were compromised before we launched them." High Chancellor Vexthor's scales shifted to a deep purple of rage. "Impossible. The security protocols were bypassed," interrupted a new voice. From the shadows emerged Operative Echo, the Hegemony's chief intelligence officer. Her chameleonic skin rippled as she stepped into the light, displaying data streams across her epidermis. "We've detected quantum communication signatures matching our highest encryption protocols, originating from this very building." The chamber erupted into chaos. Accusations flew as ancient allies turned on each other, centuries of political maneuvering unraveling in moments. In the confusion, no one noticed the slight smile on Admiral Thora Blackstar's luminescent face. Meanwhile, aboard the Phoenix Rising, Dr. Kira Volkov reviewed the same battle footage with growing concern. "The quantum fluctuations are increasing," she reported to the assembled Earth Command staff. "The Arcturus battle did more than just defeat the Hegemony, it damaged the fabric of spacetime itself." Captain Ryoko Tanaka leaned forward, studying the data. "Could their stellar forge technology have caused this?" "No," Kira replied, pulling up complex quantum equations. "This is different. It's as if someone wanted this to happen. The battle, the quantum mesh, the spatial damage, it's all too perfect." A priority communication interrupted their discussion. Ambassador Jun Wei's hologram appeared, his usually calm demeanor shattered. "We have a problem. My sources inside the Hegemony have discovered something disturbing. The quantum fluctuations, they are not random. They are forming a pattern. On the Quantum Dawn, still patrolling the Arcturus sector, Captain Raven Martinez received the same information. Her ship's sensors had been detecting strange anomalies ever since the battle, points in space where reality seemed to thin. Commander Frost, she called to her tactical officer, analyze these quantum signatures. Compare them to known hegemony encryption patterns. Nikolai Frost's augmented eyes widened as the data streamed through his neural interface. Captain, these fluctuations. They are not battle damage. They are coordinates, pointing to something in the void between galaxies. Back in the hegemony's quantum chamber, the revelation of betrayal deepened. Operative Echo's investigations had uncovered a conspiracy centuries in the making. We found evidence of a shadow organization within the hegemony, she announced, her skin displaying encrypted files. They call themselves the Quantum Ascendancy. Zara Vesher's crystalline form pulsed with recognition. The same group that pushed for Earth's isolation centuries ago. Yes, Echo confirmed. But their goal wasn't to contain Earth. They were guiding humanity's development, pushing us to underestimate them while secretly sharing advanced theoretical physics. Admiral Blackstar watched the revelation unfold, her bioluminescent patterns betraying nothing. But deep in her secured quarters, a quantum transmitter pulsed with coded messages. The seeds are planted. The pattern nears completion. The gateway awaits. Dr. Volkov, analyzing the growing quantum disturbances, finally saw the terrible truth. These aren't random fluctuations, she announced to Earth's leadership. Someone's trying to tear open a hole in space-time. The battles, the quantum mesh, it was all to weaken the barriers between dimensions. Ambassador Jun Wei's hologram flickered as he added crucial information. The Quantum Ascendancy, they are not just hegemony traitors. They are believers in an ancient prophecy about beings from another universe. They think humanity's quantum technology is the key to opening a portal. Captain Martinez, reviewing the coordinates hidden in the quantum signatures, felt a chill run down her spine. Dr. Singh, she called to her quantum specialist, what would happen if all these spatial weak points connected? Ashara Singh's calculations painted a horrifying picture. A cascade effect. The damage we caused in the Arcturus battle, it was the final step. Someone's using our quantum mesh technology to create a bridge between universes. In the hegemony chamber, the betrayal reached its climax. Admiral Blackstar's luminescence suddenly flared brilliant white as she activated a hidden quantum device. For centuries, we've waited, she announced, her voice resonating with triumphant power. The hegemony thought they were containing Earth, but we were guiding them, helping them develop the exact technology we needed. Operative Echo moved to stop her, but it was too late. Quantum energy exploded from hidden generators throughout Nova Centauri. The Admiral's form began to change, her luminescent patterns forming impossible geometries. The beings from the other universe, she continued, her voice now layered with alien harmonics, they've been waiting. Humanity's quantum technology was the key we needed to break through. The war, the battles, the quantum mesh, all of it designed to weaken the walls between realities. On ships throughout the galaxy, sensors screamed as spacetime began to tear. The quantum fluctuations connected, forming a massive pattern that stretched across multiple sectors. At its center, in the void between galaxies, something began to emerge. Dr. Volkov's voice shook as she contacted all Earth vessels. This was never about war with the hegemony. We were being used, all of us. The quantum mesh didn't just win the battle, it created anchor points for something much worse. Captain Martinez watched in horror as reality itself seemed to split open near her ship. Through the tear, she caught glimpses of impossible geometries, of a universe operating under laws that defied comprehension. All ships, battle stations, she ordered, knowing that the real war was just beginning. Whatever's coming through that portal, we need to be ready. Ambassador Jun Wei's final transmission reached them through static, the Quantum Ascendancy. They believe these beings will elevate our universe to a higher plane of existence. But the ancient records I found, they tell a different story. These aren't saviors coming through. They are conquerors. As the tiers in spacetime widened, both Earth and the hegemony faced a terrible choice. Could former enemies unite against a threat from beyond their universe? Or would their conflict doom them all? The quantum storms above Arcturus intensified, and in the darkness between stars, ancient beings stirred. Humanity's rise to power had been impressive, but it had also opened a door that should have remained forever closed. The betrayal was complete, but its consequences were only beginning to unfold. Dawn of a new era. The void between galaxies blazed with impossible light as reality itself tore open. Through the quantum rifts, massive shapes emerged, crystalline structures that defied Euclidean geometry, beings of pure energy that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The quantum ascendance's plan had worked, the barriers between universes had fallen. Dr. Kira Volkov stood on the Phoenix Rising's bridge, watching as her life's work in quantum physics was used to unleash something beyond comprehension. Beside her, Captain Tanaka coordinated with Earth's remaining fleet. All ships reporting ready, Tanaka announced, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding before them. The Quantum Dawn and Shadow Striker are in position. But these readings? Dr. Volkov, what are we really facing? Before Kira could respond, a new signal cut through their quantum communications. High Chancellor Vexthor's image appeared, his scales now a deep shade of determination. Earth vessels, this is the Hegemony's emergency broadcast. We request immediate alliance. The chamber fell silent. Centuries of mistrust hung in the balance as humanity faced a choice: reject their former oppressors or unite against a greater threat. In the Hegemony's command center, Operative Echo and Fleet Commander Zaravesh worked frantically to coordinate their remaining forces. The transformed Admiral Blackstar, now a being of pure quantum energy, had destroyed half their defense fleet before disappearing into the rifts. The entities are using our own quantum networks against us, Zaravesh reported, her crystalline form pulsing with urgency. Every system they touch becomes an extension of their consciousness. Echo's chameleonic skin displayed tactical data across her entire body. They are not just invading our space, they are rewriting the laws of physics themselves. Each incursion weakens our universe's fundamental constants. On the Quantum Dawn, Captain Raven Matiners made a decision that would change the course of history. This is Captain Matiners to all Earth and Hegemony vessels. The quantum mesh technology that won us the Arcturus battle. I believe we can modify it to seal these rifts. Dr. Ashara Singh's voice crackled over the comm. Captain, if we reverse the quantum field's polarity and synchronize them with the Hegemony's stellar forge technology, we could create a quantum barrier, Kira finished from the Phoenix Rising. But we'd need every ship, Earth and Hegemony alike, working in perfect harmony. One mistake and we could tear the universe apart completely. High Chancellor Vexthor's scales shifted to a brilliant gold of hope. Whatever you need, Earth. The Hegemony stands with you. The next hours were a blur of desperate preparation. Dr. Volkov and Dr. Singh worked with Hegemony scientists to modify the quantum mesh, while Captain Matiners and Commander Frost coordinated the largest fleet action in galactic history. Earth ships and Hegemony vessels, once bitter enemies, now moved in perfect formation. The transformed Admiral Blackstar appeared in multiple locations simultaneously, her quantum form rippling with dark power. You cannot stop evolution, her voice echoed across dimensions. The quantum ascendancy has prepared for this moment for millennia. Your universe will be reformed. Through the rifts, the entities began their true invasion. Space itself walked around them as they moved, their very presence causing stars to age thousands of years in seconds. Traditional weapons passed harmlessly through their multidimensional forms. All ships, initialize quantum barrier sequence, Captain Matiners ordered. Dr. Singh, begin the countdown. Thousands of ships, their quantum fields interconnected, began to move in precise patterns. Hegemony vessels added their stellar forge energy to the matrix, while Earth's advanced quantum technology provided the precise control needed. The entities sensed the danger too late. As they pushed further into normal space, their combined fleet sprang their trap. The quantum barrier began as a small sphere of distorted space-time, then expanded rapidly outward. The barrier is stable, Dr. Singh reported. But the entities, they are fighting back. The battle that followed defied description. The entities attacked the quantum barrier with weapons that existed in five-dimensional space, while their combined fleet struggled to maintain their complex defense. Ships exploded as reality itself buckled under the strain. In a desperate gambit, Dr. Volkov made a startling suggestion. The quantum fluctuations, we can't just contain them. We need to redirect them. Where? Vexthor demanded. Back at them, Kira replied. Their own dimension, we can use their invasion routes against them. Captain Martinez understood immediately. All ships, adjust quantum fields to frequency delta 9. We're not just building a wall, we're creating a mirror. The entity's own power, their attempt to reform our universe, was turned against them. The quantum barrier reflected their multidimensional energy back through the rifts, creating a cascading effect that began to seal the tears in space-time. The transformed Admiral Blackstar screamed in quantum frequencies as her new form was drawn back through the closing rifts. You don't understand. We were trying to elevate you, to free you from the constraints of your limited universe. We choose our own evolution, Kira responded, her hands steady on the quantum controls. Our two universes were never meant to merge. With a reality-bending flash, the rift sealed. The quantum storms subsided, leaving behind a changed galaxy. Hundreds of ships had been lost, and the fabric of spacetime would bear the scars for millennia to come. In the aftermath, as rescue operations began, humanity and the hegemony faced a new dawn. The Quantum Ascendance's surviving members were arrested, their centuries of manipulation finally exposed. But their actions had forced two civilizations to look beyond their differences. High Chancellor Vexthor, addressing a joint session of Earth and hegemony leadership, spoke of the future. We survived because we stood together. Let this be the beginning of a true alliance, not based on power or fear, but on mutual respect and understanding. Dr. Volkov, standing with Captain Martinez and the other heroes of the battle, watched as former enemies became allies. Their quantum technology, which had nearly destroyed the universe, would now be developed jointly to heal the damage and advance both civilizations. What do you think they really wanted? Martinez asked quietly, looking out at the stars. Those entities from the other universe. Change, Kira replied. Evolution. But they forgot something important about humanity and even the hegemony: we evolve best when we choose our own path. As ships from both fleets began the long process of rebuilding, a new era dawned in the galaxy. Earth had risen not just as a military power, but as a force for unity. The quantum barriers between realities were sealed, but the barriers between species had finally fallen. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, humanity and the hegemony would face it together. In the end, it wasn't superior technology or military might that had saved them, it was the ability to move beyond ancient hatreds and unite against a common threat. As the Phoenix Rising led the fleet home, Dr. Volkov made one final log entry: the quantum storms have passed, but they've left us changed. Perhaps that was the real evolution all along, not the transformation of our universe, but the transformation of ourselves. The dawn of the new era had begun, and its light would shine across the galaxies for generations to come.